The emergency department was a flurry of movement as the paramedics wheeled in Harold Davidson, his face pale, chest heaving with the weight of a failing heart. Monitors beeped frantically as a team of nurses and doctors sprang into action. Leading them was Dr. Amelia Reyes, a seasoned cardiologist whose hands had steadied countless lives. She barely glanced at the commotion surrounding Davidson's arrival. Her focus was on saving him. Davidson groaned, his voice raspy with exhaustion. "No, not her," he muttered, his eyes flickering toward Dr. Reyes. "Get me a real doctor." Nurse Linda Thompson, standing beside him, stiffened. "Dr. Reyes is one of the best cardiologists in this hospital, Mr. Davidson. You need immediate intervention." Davidson clenched his teeth, his labored breath betraying his vulnerability. "I don't want someone like her touching me." Dr. Reyes, unfazed, met his gaze with a steady calm. "Mr. Davidson, you're experiencing a severe cardiac event. If we don't act now, your heart may not last the night." His body trembled, whether from fear or rage was unclear. His prejudice battled with his will to survive, a silent war playing out on his pained expression. "Someone else," he rasped. "There is no one else," Nurse Thompson said firmly. "Dr. Reyes is your best chance." Before we continue this story, let us know where you're watching from. If you enjoy stories like this, subscribe to the channel, because tomorrow we have another special story for you. Davidson's eyes darted around the room, searching for an escape he didn't have. His breaths grew shorter, shallower. Then, Nurse Thompson noticed the numbers on his monitor plummeting. She rushed to check his records. "Doctor," she said urgently, "he has a history of arterial blockage. His vitals are crashing." Dr. Reyes nodded, not waiting for permission. "Prep him for surgery now," Davidson gasped, trying to summon the last ounces of his defiance. "Don't. You're gonna die if you don't let me help you." Her voice was soft but firm. He shut his eyes as though grappling with the unbearable weight of the moment. The prejudice that had shaped his life now threatened to end it. He swallowed thickly, unable to speak, but the slight nod of his head was all Dr. Reyes needed. Hours later, Davidson awoke in the ICU, the steady rhythm of a heart monitor echoing softly. His chest ached, but he was alive. His gaze fell on Dr. Reyes standing nearby, reviewing his chart. "You saved me," he said hoarsely. Dr. Reyes didn't look up. "That's my job." Silence stretched between them, thick with unspoken thoughts. Finally, Davidson muttered, "I suppose I was wrong." Dr. Reyes finally met his gaze. "Your heart was failing, Mr. Davidson. The rest is up to you." The story of Davidson's prejudice and survival spread beyond the hospital walls, sparking national conversations about bias in healthcare and the power of compassion. The hospital responded by instituting comprehensive cultural sensitivity training, ensuring that no patient, no matter their beliefs, would ever dictate the quality of care they received. As for Davidson, he left the hospital not just with a repaired heart, but with something he never expected, a reason to change. And Dr. Reyes continued her work, knowing that saving lives often meant healing more than just the body.